after studying composition of functions, we may want to ask, how do we undo it, right? Because if you think about it, every operation has an opposite, or something to undo it. Addition has subtraction, multiplication has division, exponentiation has square root, or radicals, right? So we want to be able to undo function composition, and so the way we undo it is we decompose it. Instead of compose, we decompose. Okay. So here we have an example. We want to find two functions, f and g, such that when we compose them, great. Now, the only way to undo this is to really guess and check. So this can be either your best friend or your worst nightmare. Okay, now what I notice, so in terms of guessing and checking, I notice that there's a 4x squared. Now, keep in mind that h of x needs to equal f of g of x, right? So I need to, and I'm going to be substituting in x, right? All my changes are to x. So it'd be useful if I look at the terms containing x and see, okay, are there any similarities between the terms where I could maybe, substitute something in and perform an operation and get out the thing that is being shown to me. It so happens that here, the choice for g of x I am going to make is 2x. And because I see that if I think of f as x squared minus 1, this is really the same as 2x squared minus 1. So I could do that. Now, there exists another composition that you could make. So this would be one way to verify my answer. Okay. Another separate answer that you could do is you could say, oh, well, this is like its own, this part is its own thing, and then the minus 1 is just tacked onto it. So you could say, oh, well, maybe if we're looking at f and g, maybe g is 4x squared, and then f is just x minus 1, because then what I would do is take the 4x, and when I compose it, that would take the place of x squared. So that would be another answer. So your answers might not be unique. What do you do? Well, really, take a stab at one, check that it works, and move on with your life. Okay? So I want you to try this one. Again, there could be two different things that you could get, or more, but see what you get. Resume the video when you want to see the answers. And so here are my two answers. The idea here is I picked g of x to either be the entire numerator or denominator. So numerator was in the first one, denominator was in the second one. So you can see that when x is minus 1, that would be substituted into both of those. So then I get x minus 1 in the numerator, and then x minus 1 plus 3 in the denominator, which would add to positive 2. Similar thing happens over here in number 2. So again, I take x plus 2, substitute it in for both the x's, and so I'd get x plus 2 in the denominator, and then x plus 2 minus 3 in the numerator, or x minus 1 when you simplify. So again, many different ways to do these. All we're looking for you to do is to say, yeah, this is a possible decomposition, and then as a way to check your composition. So that's all for this video set, and really for this section. So we've talked about function combination, function composition, domains of each, and we even threw in the difference quotient. So we'll get some practice now with this in class.